Hey, what's up, guys? It's Apollo Uchiha here, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I am back with a new story. The name of this story is What If Naruto Could Control the Whole Elemental Nation? And yeah, guys, it is an unscripted story. Now, before continuing this, a little bit of things I want to tell you about this story, about the plot that is going to be, or what my aim is going to be, since it's an unscripted story. The thing is that I watched a YT short, and it was like a couple finding, a map of their whole town, and whatever they did to that map, in reality, that happened. I think many of you guys might have watched this. It's a clip from a Netflix series or maybe a movie. I haven't watched it yet, but that gave me an idea. Like, what if Naruto had a miniature version of the whole elemental nation and everyone living in it as a form of, a miniature version of it on his, you know, room table, and he could control and do whatever he wishes to do. And yeah, Naruto is going to be civilian, and it is a little bit of neglect-ish story. So yeah, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel, and follow me on my Meta What If channel as well, and stay tuned for a story there as well. And without any further ado, let's begin with our today's story. Our story begins in Konoha Gakure no Sato on October 10th in nighttime, one day after the QB attack, as the village was recovering from the devastating effects of the attack that happened yesterday night. We go towards the hospital room where we see Kushina Uzumaki, who was looking a lot much palish than ever, was being treated by one Tsunade Senju, who was brought back on a short notice by the Kage of the said village, who was also the husband of Kushina. As now we see, Minato was standing on the other side of the room, watching Tsunade do her magic as Kushina was laying there, as he felt a hand placed on his shoulder. Oh, it's you, Sensei. Yes. Everything all right, Minato? You're looking pale yourself. No, it's fine. I I was able to save everyone, but it's just I don't know if I made the right choice. What do you mean by that? I I did the unthinkable, Sensei, and I don't think I can forgive myself, or even Kushina might even be able to forgive me. What did you do? I don't know how this happened. I summoned the Shinigami for it to take my soul, but it didn't want any soul. What? How can that be? That is quite interesting what Minato has mentioned, said Hiruzen as he arrived there as well. What do you mean, Sensei? What Minato has said has never happened before, or what I have read. Usually the effects would be as such. When the Shinigami is summoned, a contract is created between the summoner and the Shinigami, and the price of that contract is always the soul. So what did you do, Minato? It wanted the chakra of my son. What? Yes. Naruto's abilities of using the chakra has been taken from him. Naruto? You mean the boy who has the soul of the Kyuubi? Yes. Now, since he doesn't have any chakra and is still alive, I don't know how, but he is. I doubt that the Kyuubi will be able to control him or try to manipulate him. Yeah, that is true. So, your son doesn't have any ounce of chakra in him now? Yes. But Shinigami did say, because I asked, that I would be worried about my son because of my enemies and whatnot. Shinigami smirked and said that you don't need to worry about this one because we are watching over it closely. Hmm. Usually now, if this was anything, I would have indicated that it was meant by that Shinigami that it was Naruto who was the child of prophecy, but since his chakra is taken, I doubt it. Yes, Sensei, I do too. At first, it was my thoughts as well. So you mean to say that Naruto is now not a part of the figure between the prophecy that was going to be your child? Yes, we think so, Hiruzen-sama, said Minato, as that is when Tsunade arrived. Well, whatever you were talking about, you can hold that off for later, because right now Kushina is awake and she needs you there. And so, Minato and the other two entered, as did Tsunade. Minato. Tsunade-sama checked on the kids as well, and she said something. I'll explain everything to you, Kushina. As Minato began to explain everything that has transpired, as Kushina was shocked a little bit, and quite baffled at why did this happen. I see. Well, I guess it's a small price to pay in the end, because I have still both my son and my husband with me. My whole family is here. But what if Naruto hates me for this? We will cross that bridge once we get there, Minato. But right now, we need to take care of something. Something that is much bigger than us. You mentioned to me, right, about the prophecy. Who do you think it would be? Now that Naruto is out of the equation, would it be Menma or Mito? I honestly don't know. Only time would tell. Then we have to make sure that they are prepared, both of them are, and make sure that they are ready to save Naruto. But how are you going to do that while focusing on the two and leaving the other one out? We have to. A little bit of sacrifice is necessary. I don't care if he hates us or comes to hate us in the future, but all I care about is his safety. I will do whatever it is necessary, how much drastic it is. I will take that measure. And so, now we have a time skip after it was decided. As 6 years have went by, as now we see Naruto was watching from his room upstairs in the backyard of theirs, where Kushina was training both Menma and Mito. As Kushina's gaze fell upon from them to him, as she pointed him towards to go inside and close the curtains, because he was a secret that they were afraid of everyone else to know. Because turns out Konoha wasn't even aware that they had a third child. Naruto was kept as a secret of a family who displayed that they had only two childs to everyone. The whole elemental nations knew that they had only two children, Menma and Mito. To the point that at some point they even begin to believe if it wasn't for, well, Kushina hearing a third sound upstairs. And after that, Kushina has been even more guilty of what she has done. And as a punishment, she has now been avoiding Naruto because she knew that she was the one who caused all this pain to him. As her expression was now of complete sadness and thought. Kajan, Kajan, we have been calling you for quite a long time now, said Menma. What is it, Menma? It's already noon, and it's time for our break and lunch. Can we? Yes, go inside. As now we see, Kushina then decided to take a long deep breath and head inside as well. There was nothing she could do about the past. All she could do was try to mend the future. And so, once she entered inside, she found that her kids were already playing with Minato, who has arrived to take his lunch break as well. Hey, Kushina-chan. It seems that you have been working hard. Yes, you can say something like that, Minato-kun. Naruto, come downstairs, have lunch with us. As now we see, Naruto came downstairs after hearing that, and seeing their civilian of a brother who was wearing a white t-shirt and blue shorts. Menma and Mito then smiled. Naruto, come sit with us. As Naruto went and sat with them. They used to play when they were kids until Menma and Mito were told that Naruto was a secret that they need to keep and that they need to spend as less as time as possible with him because if anybody sees him with them, there might be a lot of consequences for Naruto. As Naruto with a small smile then went and sat with his siblings as they began to talk, as Minato then noticed, Kushina, you don't need to feel so guilty. I am also part of this. We are together in this. It's just even if we're doing him wrong, Minato. I thought it would be for the best for him, but I don't know even anymore. Nothing has happened so far, but we kept him home, and each birthday of his we have a fight because he asked for only one thing. I know, and even if he comes to hate us, we will protect him as his parents. You have not forgotten that, have you, Kushina? No, no, I have not. Then let's enjoy our lunch. And so now we see all of them had a lunch together while Menma and Mita talked with Naruto as Minato and Kushina monitored their children interacting. As now we see it was night time as Naruto after having dinner in the same manner then came upstairs and was laying in his room. Man, I am bored. Then why not open that table mat of yours? That map of elemental nations? What am I gonna do with that, Kurama? Said Naruto to the voice within his head. As Unbeknownst to the whole family of his, Naruto was able to communicate with the Kyuubi. Even without his chakra, the soul of the Kyuubi could still communicate. That was something that the family at the time did not anticipate it. And because of that, Kurama and Naruto at first starting with hostility then turned into somewhat of friends. And now they were completely trusting on one another because the Kyuubi realized, as much as it hated, that Naruto was going to get only one friend in his life aside from his siblings, and that was him. So, that is why he stepped in, even if he was the incarnate of hatred. They're doing this because they don't want you to be targeted by their enemies. I can sense your emotions, kid, before you even begin. Yeah, I guess you're right. You know what? Let's open the map and see what's going on. As Naruto, with a smile on his face, then opened the map of the whole elemental nation that was gifted to him by his father on his 5th birthday. After opening it, we see that Naruto sat down as the map came to life, making a miniature version of a 3D whole elemental nation and the people walking within him. Let's check on what Menman Mito-ne-san is doing. Naruto noticed that they were currently not at home, but at their friend's home. Huh? We just had dinner together. I did not know that they were at the Uchiha compound. Well, I guess they are now. Let's check on your father. And so Naruto began to see and check on his father as well, who was working currently at Hokage office, doing a lot of paperwork. He's doing a lot of paperwork right now. As Naruto then came at home to check on his mother, he was quite shocked to find that standing on the other side of his room. What is she doing there, kid? I don't know. As Naruto, after closing the map, got up and then arrived at the doorstep. Opening it, she saw that Kushina was holding a glass of milk and some cookies. Naruto, can we talk? Yeah, come in, Kachan. As after bringing in, Naruto took the plate and glass of milk and placed it down to the side table. What is it, Kachan? It's just, are you, are you happy here, son? As Naruto was taken aback by that. What do you mean by that, Kachan? What I mean to say is that are you happy, son? I I know that I might not have been the best parent to you. We're not paying attention to you as such as we are paying to the others, and we have forbidden you to go outside, but I honestly don't know if it's the best choice that we made or not. As Naruto's eyes widened, as his mother was opening up and had tears in her eyes. What do you mean? As Kushida then explained everything to him. You're becoming mature, Naruto, and because of that I have to tell you this. As after listening to his mother's explanation, Naruto sat down and sighed. Well, you could have told me, you know. You were a little kid, Naruto. We were scared. And I didn't want you to get hurt because of our mistake. Well, it's not your mistake at least. No, it's both of ours. Because I was the one who agreed to this. And and it was Minato who was supposed to. Well, I'm glad that it was my chakra then that was gone. As Kushina's eyes widened as Naruto said this with a smile. What? Otherwise I wouldn't have had my whole family. I'll gladly give up my chakra abilities as many times as is wanted for my whole family to be here. I have listened to a lot of orphan stories that you guys speak about, and they're, to be honest, quite horrifying. I'm just glad that I have people who are here to watch my back, and who love me unconditionally, even in their own weird way, I guess. Has Kushina chuckled. Weird we are, son. Weird we are. As after that we see, Kushina kissed her son's top of head and then said, Good night, Naruto. Don't stay awake late at night, okay? After that we see the door closed shut as Naruto heard footsteps leaving. Kushina had lifted a huge weight out of her chest, as Naruto now had realized why all of this happened. But to be honest, he was already aware thanks to the QB, so he didn't hate them that much. Are you sure about that? Yeah, as much as it is a bummer that I can't be a shinobi, there's nothing more means to me than a family who loves me so much. I mean, they pretty much kept me as a secret, didn't they? Ah, a little princess who is kept as a secret, huh? Oi, stop torturing me. Anyways, let's go back to the map. Yeah, let's go there. As to be honest, Kurama was quite surprised. This was an artifact created by his own father, but as a form of experiment, and then it was kept as sealed. He did not even thought for a moment that something like that would ended up here and the map would change over time, as well as the whole elemental nation changed as well. Hmm. Well, at least the kid is just doing minor things like keeping an eye on his family. Oh, look, Grandma, Kachan is now resting. Well, I hope she has great dreams now. As unbeknownst to Naruto, it was really happening as he was speaking and wishing, because Kamiyami and Shinigami willed it to be. As that is when he noticed something, a red dot near his home. As Naruto zoomed in on that, and noticed that it was an Iwa Shinobi. Iwa Shinobis. And they're currently at the backyard of our home, in the trees. As Naruto then said, I have to stop them. As that is when he witnessed that the shinobi jumped and bumped into something in the air, and then face first to the ground. As Naruto then tried to pick him up, and Naruto witnessed that he was able to pick him up as well. Oh, Kurama, you're saying this? It's... I cannot believe it. As Naruto then began to have fun with him, as he began to flung him into the air so high as he heard the screams of the man. Oh, damn it, I should not do that probably. As Naruto then aiming the man mid-air towards Iwa, then inflicted, as the man was thrown at a higher pace all the way across the elemental nation as he landed into the Iwa. As Naruto zoomed in there, as Naruto was laughing at the reactions of what the people were going on. He couldn't hear them, that was a bummer, but he could understand what was going on. As Kurama was also having a blast after this. As Naruto then began to zoom in on the other parts of the elemental nation as well, aside from Konoha, until he ended up in the rice country and noticed that something was hidden within. What is that? As Naruto zoomed in even more, and that is when a man came to be in front of him. Orochimaru. Who is that? Kid, that is a rogue Sanin. You just found out his hideout. You did. Wait, what? Rogue Sanin? Like Jiraiya Hiro Sanin? Yes. Yasunade Bachan is also a Sanin, and he's the third one who defected from Konoha. I see. As that is when Naruto began to see texts of what they were speaking on top of their head. As Naruto began to read it, we have to do something about Konoha. I have heard a rumor that there is a third child. You know what, Kurama? If he's wanted man, how would Konoha feel if I placed all of him in Konoha? You know what, kid? Why not give it a try? Said Kurama, feeling a little bit mischievous and wanting to see the true capabilities of this, well, miniature version of the whole Elemental Nations map that Naruto had. As Naruto then picked up Orochimaru and literally brought him outside of Rice Country, and then brought him all the way across Konoha as a scream was heard zooming past by his home, as that is when Naruto placed him in the center part of the Hokage office, where Minato and a lot of Anbu surrounded him immediately. Orochimaru knew he couldn't escape, and so he was arrested. While he was confused as hell how did this happen, as Naruto was having a blast, because it was getting fun. You know what, Kurama? What, kid? Maybe we should do this. Take out bad people like this. You know what? That would be great, kid. That would be great. As after that, Naruto made sure to capture all the bandits nearby. He kept an eye on them, and as soon as he was able to track one of them, he was able to capture them. And so time began to pass by as such, and Naruto began to spend more and more time within his room and less time with his family, giving them enough time and space to learn on their own. But it got into a point where Menma and Mito were quite sad, as it was their 13th birthday and their graduation ceremony, and Naruto was still in his room, as Mito was looking extra sad. As now we see Menma then said, Mito, I know that you're pissed, but come on, Nixon. I know that he has to be kept as a secret by our family, but that doesn't mean that he has to remain in that room for, for, for all the time. I know. I mean, I even think that it is getting way too much out of hand. We need to go inside and have a talk with him. And so both of the brother and sister barged into the room a few hours before the, birthday party started. And they found out Naruto having fun with something that was like a 3D version of, elementalations. Naruto, what is going on? What are you doing? Oh, Nason, Nason, I did not knew you were calling me. We have been, but you have been too busy, cooped up in your room. What are you doing over there? Can you close the room shut? I'll tell you, okay? Are you sure about this, kid? But only if you keep this as a secret. I have to. Not like I have a choice. Well, I guess you're right. And so, after closing the door room shut, we see both of them sat down. Alright, talk. Today is our birthday, and the party is about to begin. Then, shouldn't you two be down there? Of course, but we have another cake prepared, and we have enough time for us to celebrate together. Oh, I see. But Naruto, you're in the middle of something, listening into the conversation. Remember? Yeah. Listen, I'll explain everything to you after the party, okay? But can we celebrate it now? Alright, let's go downstairs. And after that, Naruto found that his parents as well as Jiraiya were there, alongside with Hiruzen and Tsunade, the only people who were aware of this secret. And they all celebrated Naruto's birthday. And Naruto was even given some of the most prized possessions, such as a protective charm from by Jiraiya, who found it from a shaman in the land of fire. As from Hiruzen, it was about Fuinjutsu arts, because Naruto had a knack for learning about books, so he was given that. And then from Minato and Kushina, it was a pendant, in which an image of all of his family was present. As Naruto was quite happy, his siblings gave him a headband of their own that they made after saving their a lot of money. Thank you, all of you. As after that we see Naruto celebrated his birthday with his family, and after doing so he went upstairs, locking his storeroom shut and then going to the land of waves. He saved a man from getting his arms chopped off as he witnessed that his family was crying, and then took Gato and literally began to dip him in the ocean again and again and again and again, and literally flung him across the whole elemental nation, playing catch with him, until Gato began to cry and beg for mercy from Kami, saying that he will correct his path. And after that, Naruto knew that he wouldn't do so, so he was placed into the Rice Country prison, alongside all of his goons as well. Well, that's taken care of. Yes, land of fire, land of waves have been saved. As that is when Naruto, while scrolling through the whole area that went inside to check on one thing that he has been doing so continuously for the past year or so. Let's see how the rebels are doing. Oh, the Mist Village. Yeah. Even if I try to help them, I can't help them too much. Otherwise it will become obvious that some force is at play. I don't want to be discovered, Kurama. Well, you have been able to help them not get any casualties, so that is a plus. Yeah, I guess you're right. As that is when Naruto noticed that it was a Three Tails. What is that thing? That is Izubo. The Three Tails. What is it doing there? Naruto. He's charging up a Bijudama. Bijudama? You have to stop him. He's gonna destroy that village and all of them. As Naruto literally picked up the Three Tails and flung it back down towards the army that it was on the side of, and the Bijidama was launched, destroying its own army set as the rebels took cover as Naruto placed a huge hand protecting them. As after that we see that Three Tails was shaken until he was brought out of his stupor. As Kurama noticed, kid, its eyes, they just morphed back as they were. Place him back down there. I think we're in the clear. As now we see, Naruto began to see out the whole scene play. What is going on? Said Isebu, as we see Mei Terumi, the leader of the rebels, then said, What do you mean, Three Tails? You don't remember what you have done? No. I don't know. Yagura. Wait, he's in a genjutsu. As Three Tails broke him out of it. As now we see Yagura then came to be as he was. What is going on? Mei, you've grown. What the hell are you talking about, Yagura? You have caused enough war for the past 5 years and you don't even remember what the hell you were doing? I don't know. As that is when Naruto was shocked. Kurama, you're hearing this? Yes, kid, I am. As that is when Naruto heard from the text, it was a genjutsu. I believe what Izubu is telling me. You were in a genjutsu? An Uchiha, claiming to be Madara. Madara? That cannot be. He's dead. The first Kage of Konoha killed him, didn't he? I honestly don't know, May. I don't know what is going on. I thought that I told him to get off, but I don't remember anything after that. What have I done, May? Tell me. As everyone from both sides were quite shocked, you divided our nation. You killed my parents, who were your loyal friends, because they had Genkais. You made us an outcast within our own village, and we were hunted down by people, like wild, ragged animals. As Yagura was taken back by that, as Naruto and Kurama were also hearing this. Naruto. What, Kurama? I believe it was the same man that caused me to go into a genjutsu and attack the village. Wait, you mean it could be the same man? Yes, he possessed the eyes of Madara. An Uchiha with the Sharingan so strong that he was able to cast a genjutsu on me. Same thing happened to Izubu as well as Yagura over there. You mean to think that he might be still alive? Yes, kid. He was able to escape back then and now this chaos was caused. What do you think? He's the same man. I can feel it. Alright, Kurama, if you say so. We need to find him then. Yes, kid. We need to. We need to make sure that we are able to find him. And after doing so, he needs to be brought into justice. As after that we see, Naruto knew now they had to their own way to sort this out, since the main pawn that was being used by someone else who was entirely mastermind of this whole chaos was discovered. As Naruto began to, for the next few weeks, search throughout the whole elemental nation until he found a village known as Omegakure. And there he found some people wearing black cloaks and with red clouds pattern on them. And they all were gathered there, until only two of them left. At first Naruto thought it must be some sort of a rogue group, until Naruto found out that they were Akatsuki members from the bingo book that he had kept there. And the persons that were left behind were Tobi, the masked person who was a psychopath, and Setsu, a plant-like creature that was also a human. Madara-sama. As these were said by words by Zetsu when they were alone. Madara! Kid, it has to be him. No doubt about it. That is the man that we are searching after. We need to keep an eye on them, Kurama. The meeting that they had. We need to find out more about this. And so, Naruto unbeknownstly did something. He clicked on the man on the cloak, and that is when immediately all of the members were able to be traced at where they were. They're traveling at separate parts of the elemental nation in a group of two. Why? As that is when Naruto noticed that. Kurama, look! Those two are gone. As that is when Naruto followed those two as they arrived deep within into a lair where a husk was placed. A statue of a monster. What is that thing? That is... Oh my god. Kid, I know what they're trying to do. What? That is the husk of the Ten Tails. Remember what I told you about the sage? The story when you were reading about the history that was altered? Yeah. You were correcting me quite a lot, saying that the book was wrong. This is all the 9 Bijus together, the true incarnate of hatred, the Ten Tails Shinju. And that is its husk. If they have it, then this could spell out a disaster for not only Konoha, but for the rest of the elemental nation, kid. Is that so? We have to stop them. Yes, but who's gonna listen to you, kid? They're strong. You're only one. Even if you place them, they would say that they don't know how they got there. You're right. What are we going to do, Kurama? I honestly don't know, kid. I honestly don't know. As after that we see Naruto then said, I have an idea. You may not like this, but this is the only solution that I have. As Naruto then grabbed all of the Akatsuki members and threw them all the way as far as he could near the rivers, even grabbing both Zetsu as well as Tobi, and making sure that it would take them quite a long time to get back. What did you do, kid? Why are you doing this? You want to get them suspicious? Let them be, because what they're trying to do is much more dangerous. What are you thinking, Naruto? The only option that I have. As Naruto then rolled up the map and went towards the Hokage office, after wearing a hood and making sure that he knew where he was going. Alright, I've seen this through from bird's eye. For the first time, it'll be quite hard to get there. As Naruto was walking throughout the elemental nation, many of the shinobis got quite curious, especially one Kakashi Hatake, as Naruto resembled their Kage a lot. Who are you, kid? Oh, I'm an orphan, sir. I kind of, separated from my family. Is that so? Want me to help? No, no. They were still here in the market, saying that they had something to do in the Kage office or whatnot, I believe. So I was heading there. You know where it is? Yeah, a man told me the way. I have to go from here to the left side and then to the right, right? Yeah, straight up. There will be the Kage office. Thank you. As Naruto then went there, as soon as he entered, the assistant of the Hokage stopped him. What are you doing here, kid? I have to speak to the Kage, I believe. You're a kid. Why would a Kage listen to you? As that is when we see, by will, Hiruzen arrived there. Naruto, what are you doing here, my boy? As he had a fear in his eyes that was trying to hide. I need to speak to the Hokage-sama, Hiruzen-sama. Oh, I see. Is it important? Yes, it is. Let him in. Hiruzen-sama, are you? Yes, I know that kid. He's someone I know. And so, once Naruto was taken by Hiruzen, both of them entered inside the Hokage office. As Minato's face fell as he was quite enraged. Naruto, what the hell are you doing here, son? Did anybody see you coming out of the house? Listen, Dad. I need you to look into this first, please. As Naruto placed down a map. What is it? It's an old map that he bought from the market. No. As Naruto placed his hand on the table, the map turned into a 3D version of it. They were getting a bird's eye view of everything. I want you to see this. Naruto went all the way to the Amekakure and zoomed in until they were able to see the monstrosity. What is that statue? That is the husk of the Ten Tails Shinjo. And the organization, the Akatsuki. As Naruto scrolled down to where they were with his finger, as Naruto was shocked, they were already at the port. I can't believe it. As Naruto calmed himself down, son, what is going on? Dad, you need to stop them. They're targeting all the 9 pages. How do you... I know a lot of things, okay? This map is different. It was built by the sage himself, turns out. And it was a fun pet project for him to allow to oversee the bird's eye view the whole nations before they were even developed. And now I can see, as Naruto zoomed in on Eva, where Oniki was seated, and then he could see his own wife and whatnot, and even them. Naruto. As the text appeared on top of Minato, it can show you what we're speaking of? Yes. Minato, this is an S-rank technique that was built by the sage. It's a sacred treasure that needs to be kept as such. Naruto. So that Eva Shinobi that was flung into the air and literally flung back to Eva. It wasn't a myth? No. I actually realized that he was watching us, so I had to do something. I had to make sure that he didn't hurt anyone, so I did that. I see, son. I see. Listen, Dad, I know you might be mad at me and whatnot, but please, I want you to gather all the Kages. They need to know about this. I will throw them away, okay? We don't have time. I guess I have to do this. Naruto, what are you doing? As Naruto then picked up each and every Kage one by one from other nations, as all of them that were then brought back to Konoha until after breaking through the window they landed there. What the hell? Did you do this, Minato no Mikaze? Listen, I did this, said Naruto, lifting up his hand. You? What do you mean you did this? Said Oniki. I want you to show you something. I knew that you might not believe me, so I have to brought you here somehow. You were quite shocked. You were literally lifted up into the air and were brought here, right? No one was there. Yes. How did you do that? Said Mei Terumi. It's good to know, Mei-san, that you are now the Kage of, well, Kiri. How do you... Well, remember the Bijul being lifted up and turned against its own army and Yagura's confession? How do you... Wait, it was your doing. Yes. The assassination attempt on you, Asuma. You, you were involved? I stopped it. And Oniki-san, your granddaughter, life being saved by some invisible force, remember? So it was you. And you brought us here, why? Look, this is a map that my father bought for me from the market as a gift. An elemental nation map. What's different of it? As Naruto placed a hand, it turned into a 3D version of the everything. It is a artifact made by the sage for fun, actually, but he kept it close because he knew that if anyone was able to, well, find it, he might be able to use it for either good or for bad. And why do you use it? I only used it because I found it quite disturbing. As Naruto showed them the Shinju and explained what the organization was going to do, as Oniki then literally rubbed his chin. So thereafter the Jinchurikis. After Naruto was done explaining, yes, and their end goal is to revive the Ten Tails. You can ask your own Jinchurikis for further reference. I can even bring Beast on here because he's quite frightened and actually is going insane. As Naruto picked him up from Kuma and brought him here instantly. So that is how you brought us here. Yeah, I'm sorry I don't know any other method of doing so. As after doing so, we see that. Beat as a brother? What is going on here? Why are you here in Konoha? B-san, you possess Yuki. Yuki, right? Yes. I can sense 9 tails in you. Yes, Kurama is with me. As Yuki took over, then B, he's told his name to you? Yes, Yuki-san. Tell them about the 10 tails, because I have found this. As Naruto showed him the husk, it cannot be. So it's back. What is back, Yuki-san? Said A. That Raikage-sama is the husk of the 10 tails, Shinju, the true monstrosity filled with hatred. Single Bijidama from him is more than enough to destroy nations from afar. That is a dangerous being made out of all the 9 Bijis combined. We have to make sure that it doesn't happen. That's not the whole plan of theirs. They want to revive someone who they claim to be Madara Uchiha. What? Madara Uchiha cannot be allowed to revive. But why would they want him? He is the key. He is the one who is strong enough to regain and become the Jinchuriki of the 10 tails. And after doing so, he will gain the power of the sage in a corrupted way. That is what Kurama told me. That is true, said Yuki. We have to stop that from happening. It's a good thing that you brought us here in your own weird way. Wait, that map, that is father's. How do you... As Kurama then took over, he found it. By chance, brother. Kurama. Yes, he found it by chance. Kyubi, listen to me, Minato, everyone. Remember the attack that I did all those years ago? I was controlled by a genjutsu. Yeah, the masked person. It is the same man who did this to Kiri as well, Mei. The same way it done to Konoha. So, you mean to say that Isebu and Yakura were not lying? No, they were not. We were able to find out once we heard what Isebu was saying. I knew deep down it was the same man. So, we have to fight this common enemy then. Kiri will help Konoha. We all will. But kid, make sure that this weapon is never used. This artifact is quite dangerous if it falls to the wrong hands. I'll make sure. Oh, and Tojan, I noticed something. What are these envoys and tunnels beneath Hokage office? Root said, Hiruzen, Danzo needs to be stopped. They were going in and out and into the different villages. What? Why? And seemingly to start something up. Minato, you were not aware of this. From the looks of it, said A. No, I was not, Oniki-san. Not one bit. It's Danzo. Of course, that warmonger, other side of you, Hiruzen. And you were not aware? We told him to shut this organization down. Once we found out, but he did not. As after that we see, the five nations had made an alliance because Naruto showed them the proof, and the two Bijus and Jinchurikis who have never met then agreed to this as well. And now they needed to make sure that this Akatsuki was the one on the other end. And so once the Akatsuki found their footing again, they were the ones ambushed and attacked by the five nations. They were quite shocked why was this even happening, but nobody explained them anything, and they were captured and brought in front of the five Kage's council, as they made it so, in order to brought the judgment on them. And with the help of Naruto, they were able to make sure that no genjutsu would be able to be placed on any of them this time around. And so, all of them were sent for execution and were executed. The ten-tailed husk was retrieved and was sealed by the agreements of five nations, and the location was never disclosed because only the Kages were aware where it was. And each and every year, the Kages will arrive there to make sure that the seals are perfectly fine. And that was what was agreed upon. And one more thing, Naruto was finally revealed to the whole world. The secret was out. But in a good way, because the other Kages realized that he was the only one who could use that artifact of the sage, and he was their silent guardian who was watching over them. And in this way, if anyone tried to betray them, they would know before anything of that such happened. It was a fearful power to have and possess, but one that was necessary. All the five Kages realized, and so shinobis that were quite elite were sent from all the different nations to protect him, as Naruto was now living under more protection than ever. Well, kid, I guess you made your dream fulfill. Your plan was kind of stupid, but it did work in the end. But now you have to live 24/7 in surveillance. Yeah, I guess that is something that I can trade off with. Not like I was leaving my home or whatnot. But that wasn't all. A political alliance marriage all the way from Iwa was sent because Iwa people were hard to please, especially because Minato was the Kage, and Kuretsuchi was sent here to be the bride of Naruto, and a political alliance, and the ambassador of Iwa. And as both of them began to spend time together, as Naruto showed her the map and the books that he read, as Kuretsuchi showed him the cool jutsus that he could do, both of them began to fall in love with one another. Even if Kuretsuchi hated his father, she didn't hate Naruto that much at first. But now, after spending months with him, she realized that he was the one. So once both reached at the age of 18, while Kuretsuchi reached at the age of 20, 2 years being older than him, both of them ended up marrying one another. And the bond between Iwa and Konoha became strong in this way. Same could be said for Suna, who descended their own Temari no Sabuko, the daughter of the Kage, as she was married to Nara clan head. And as for Konoha's daughter, she was sent to Kumo to marry to Darui, who was similar to their age at the moment and was going to be the next Raikage. And in this way, the five nations were able to establish peace with one another. And Naruto had the most important job out of all of them and relied on Naruto if for anything to happen. And that was watching over with bird's eye view as if he was a god to the whole elemental nation, becoming a minor god of his own. As this is where I'm going to be leaving the story off, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel, and also make sure you check out the story on Meta What If as well after this one. As this is it for the day. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.